I don't know if Brooklyn knows what PETA.
Yeah, this is just
the original PETA, what it stood for.
I'm not that old. Okay. So I thought, like, in my head, I was like, oh, they're just run a little bit, fall over, we're going to see him. And then he wasn't inside. I was like, oh, Lord, like, did I actually?
About that
Is
time.
she getting after it?
Oh, she's getting after it, hitting those bushes.
I ain't made.
She said, don't shoot me. I said, I ain't going to shoot you.
You just keep
There
moving.
was an opportunity there, but I said, no, we're not going to do that.
Sarah calls me, Shane, there's something underneath the house. Like, you got to come home. So, baby, hey, I'm 2.5 hours from that. Like, can you not? Like, let's just wait. Oh, I don't know if it's under the house. I'm hearing rackets. It's growling and all kind of. I said, oh, goodness gracious.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Hayden, Alabama podcast. I'm Philip.
I'm Shane.
I'm Brooklyn.
I'm Scott.
Tonight we have three things as we've kind of gotten in a vein of doing. So we have three topics. The first one is back glass stickers, also known as truck tattoos. We've got three of our favorites that we're going to talk about. After that, we're going to move on to some country cursive. We got some words that we use down here that may not be used anywhere else, so we've picked three of our favorites. We're going to have a little fun putting those in sentences and talking about the people that use them. And then lastly, we have a deer hunting story that is definitely worth listening to, and then two rodent stories that these guys have come up with that I think may
Could be funny, but
You don't want to miss it.
you don't want to miss that. So stick around with us. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. All right, let's talk about back glass stickers.
Back glass stickers.
Here in the South, of course, all over the world, but here in the South, we got some good ones. So we want to talk about three. There could be better, could be worse, but we got three. The first one is very near and dear to me, and I want to start off with that one. So Shane and I went to the deer show early 2000s.
that's when most of our
Shenanigans
took place. Yeah, early 2000s.
Well, back then at the deer show, they had a big booth set up, and it had all kind of cutouts. But that's your business, so you know about that. But back then, very few people knew much about it. So this guy had everything from catfish to
Deer
chupacabras.
heads,
I mean, they had everything. And so we go to the table. We're going to get us a back glass sticker, and I found the one that I had to have.
Spoke to him.
It just spoke to my heart. It said PETA. So going vertical, PETA. And if you've listened to our show very much, you understand that that's not really our MO. But it had for the acronym, it had a different thing. It was people, because it had it on beside it. P, people. E, eating. T, tasty. A, animals. I didn't care what it cost. I was going to buy that. So why do you think I bought that sticker?
Brooklyn, you got any idea why you might have bought that sticker? I don't know if Brooklyn knows what PETA.
Yeah, this is just
the original PETA, what it stood for.
I'm not that old. Okay. So
That's true.
That's a dagger. That's a dag. So PETA originally was people for the ethical treatment of animals.
Ding, ding, ding.
Right? So
that means no beef, no deer. No
you
nothing.
can't eat out.
Yeah,
cannot eat animals at all.
they were strictly vegetarians. They were not animal eaters at all. So Mr. Phillip here thought it would be wise to.
And they're just kind of, sometimes they can be a little over the top and ugly to people who do enjoy consuming animals. So I just thought, you know what? This is my little stance. I'm going to have this. And of all those, now that was 20-something years ago, so this was a little bit different world. But I never once had a comment about my back glass sticker.
Nobody approached you about your PETA sticker.
Never, not one time did I dismount the Z71 and somebody say, "Hey, buddy, we got to talk about that sticker on your back glass."
Nobody really wanted to confront. You think it was because probably one of two options. Maybe they just said, "There's no need to confront this guy. Mm-hmm. His mind is made up. If I were to confront him, there's no changing his mindset anyway." Yeah. Or do you think they may have been a little bit intimidated is the word I'm looking for.
I did weigh about 260 back then.
I would say intimidated.
Intimidation is probably more.
Being in the South, Very much so.
And this Z71 that he had it on didn't just stay in the South. It made many trips north towards Ohio, and
it also had a 6-foot bullwhip antenna, the Bucks mark in the middle, and then a dog tree and a coon on the right. So it was PETA, Bucks mark, dog tree, and a coon. So going down the road, you get a pretty good picture. And that's kind of why we want to talk about this, because back glass stickers, I think,
they paint a picture.
It's a statement. This is who I am. This is what I believe in. So the PETA sticker, I hope it got a few chuckles going.
I'm sure it got some chuckles from somebody.
No doubt.
Let's transition. We got 3 of these. So let's go to the second one. And Shane and I talked a little bit about this, and this is one that he wanted to do. So tell us about number 2.
Well, we were talking about painting a picture of what is in the vehicle, okay? So when you see these back glass stickers, Philip likes to refer them as truck tattoos.
Truck tattoos, yeah.
New terminology.
That's a new terminology there.
That's it.
You're learning something new, ain't you, Brooklyn? So truck tattoos, when you see them, they're making a statement of some sort. So I said, you've got to talk about the little boy, and he's taking him a bathroom break on whatever it is.
And it was a full spectrum of things.
Yeah, there's a what's his name? Calvin was the cartoon guy. So Calvin's peeing on a Chevrolet emblem.
Ford
emblem. Yeah, they really like the ones that pee on
Dodge.
Dodge. I mean, there's a whole gamut of things that
anything you don't
Alabama,
like.
Auburn. Yeah, 'cause anything that you don't like, obviously, Calvin could cure that for you. Politicians.
So tell me about the guy. Tell me about the guy that's got that on the back of his truck when he walks in this door. What are we gonna get when he walks in? Maybe.
I think you're going to be 90% positive that this guy or gal, I've seen some girls with them, is going to be very opinionated, very staunch on whatever
Calvin's peeing on.
Whatever Calvin's peeing on, they are going to be very opposed to that item.
So if he had the one with Calvin and the Ford symbol, making water on the Ford symbol,
yeah,
do you think that guy drive a Ford?
I don't think he's going to drive a Ford.
No way.
Nobody, and his kids would never drive a Ford.
Never drive a Ford.
Nobody that he's got any money in the game is going to drive a Ford.
That's right.
So
Taking
Brooklyn,
notes.
my question is, if you were to bring home a boyfriend that was
I like it.
Oh,
Bring
wearing-
it home here.
Oh no,
wearing
I'm scared.
this truck tattoo, and he pulls up in the back or in the driveway, hey, I'm here to pick up Brooklyn for our date. What do you think? What do you think Dad's gonna say about that?
Depends on what he's peeing on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, one, I probably wouldn't want to date him.
Oh,
So I don't really know. I'd probably be scared to find out what he would say.
I would be afraid to find out what Dad would say for sure.
Yeah.
So that's the picture that I see painted there.
it's fair.
So what was the last one?
The last one is, so we're all family people. You have kids, I have kids. And the stick people, it starts with mom or dad, mom, and then however many kids you got. It's real popular. You saw them on minivans, you saw them on all kind of vehicles. But then all of a sudden, I started noticing that there were those that had things that were eating the family. A dinosaur.
Consuming the family.
Yeah. And so I thought, you see that going down the road, and if you have that, maybe you can tell why you bought the dinosaur that's eating somebody's stick family. But what message are you trying to send? Are you anti-family, or are you anti? What is that?
That's a tough one.
Pro dinosaur, maybe. When I see it, if I were to see that and the picture I paint in my mind, I think it's just chaotic. Like this is just chaos that we have gotten here, and you may see a dinosaur come up. Like if you were to come over to our family and hang out, don't be surprised if we're running away from dinosaurs.
That's see a Black Panther.
It's possible, apparently, according to Uncle Dwight.
And your
so
grandfather.
Are you saying they're saying that their family's crazy?
I'm not saying maybe not crazy. That was Brooklyn's words, not mine.
Right.
Chaos is what
She just simplified it.
Yeah.
she just
I'm
simplified
just,
it.
I'm just asking.
She read between the lines.
She
there.
narrowed it down.
Just let me bring it home here.
Crazy as in got a lot going on.
We've got a lot going on. That's right. Not crazy as in need to go to Bryce's.
Yeah.
That not that kind of
That
crazy.
was a mental hospital in Tuscaloosa.
Before your time. as
Before
well.
your time.
Yeah, not that old again.
Sorry.
You don't have to keep reminding us of that. Well, that's pretty good. I like the truck tattoos. I tell you what, if it's clean, put it in the comments. If you've got your favorite truck tattoo, put it in there. Let's have some.
Yours was one of a kind for sure.
I haven't seen one.
I've never seen another one.
And I don't know what that says about me. Well, staying in the country kind of southern vein, we want to go to sayings. We're going to call it Country Cursive.
The Country Cursive.
Because we had a comment a couple of weeks ago where the person was wondering, and I imagine they were not from the South, they were wondering what we were speaking. They couldn't even understand
Basically, they couldn't understand what we were saying. That's right.
So we want to talk about 3 common sayings that we all know what they mean. And I think maybe if you're not from the South, you'll get a kick out of this. If you're from the South, it'll be just down home cooking. It'll be just biscuits and gravy.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what
I know what they're talking about. But number 1 on the Country Cursive is britches.
One of my favorite words.
I like it.
I love using the term britches around.
And let's
those.
spell that out. It's Britches.
That's
britches.
correct. Britches.
So tell them what, for those that may not know, what
Britches, and let's just say simply stated, as Brooklyn likes to do, are pants, right?
there you go.
That's pants.
Pants.
It could be denim,
khaki,
Any type of
Suede.
pants.
Any top.
any type of pants, and you'll have it used in terms like this: "Son, I told you to go get your britches on."
I like it.
Right? Put your britches on so we can
My mimi used to always say, "Pull those britches up."
pull your britches up.
There you
That's
go.
a good one. That's exactly right. That's
Scott,
how
you got one? You got any britches
I think
statements?
Brooklyn just got.
She just
your britches.
She,
hit a home run.
that was
there.
always a big one around our house.
Every time you go around Mimi, that's all she says. Pull those things up. Pull them up.
Mine was this is what I remember being as a child is stop sliding around. You're gonna tear holes in your britches. Right? All my knees. I didn't have they wasn't a pair of pants that I owned. A pair of britches that I owned that didn't have holes all in the knees.
We do say a lot. Your britches are too short around our
Too
house.
short. That was also
Do you have
referred
that
to
problem,
as-
Philip?
When I was younger, I don't have it anymore.
No, your britches are too short.
I'm talking about for these young
to
girls.
the young ladies. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. Dealing with the daughters. At the
Oh,
moment.
well, I said sorry. I wasn't picking up on that. Yeah, theirs are always too short, no matter how
Always.
long they are. I just want to say
We need to
that.
go back to the old Mr. Adams rule, 4 inches above the
4
knee.
inches above the knee. You place your fingers on there and check the ruler.
Yeah, now being a dad, I'm leaning more towards the Pentecostal thing. I mean, I think the long
Ankle
dresses,
ankle
Mhm.
length dresses,
very
skirts.
How you like that, Brooklyn?
She has nothing to
don't-
say.
yeah.
No comment today.
Okay, the long dresses are coming back though, or I like them.
Fashionable.
Good news for us.
I like them. Not the long shorts though.
Not the long shorts.
Nope.
Yeah, I see these kids. These kids nowadays are playing basketball and they're. And
The
I'm not
boys are
talking about-
rolling them
the
up.
boys are rolling up their britches. Like,
Yeah,
What
don't
is
just blame it
this?
on the girls now. You got the boys too.
what
I
is
saw it.
this? It just looks so uncomfortable to me. How do you play basketball and your shorts is up here around mid thigh? Doesn't even make sense.
But you remember, what was that Pistol Pete movie?
Pistol Pete.
You remember that? Or Hoosiers? Yeah, I know. That's a
Going
long
back in
time.
time.
What about Hoosiers? You remember Hoosiers?
I do remember Hoosiers.
You remember
yeah.
how short?
Oh, that's true.
I'm
That
talking
is
about
correct. Yeah.
They were
Way
about
up there.
8 inches
Really
above
short.
the knee.
So that was what, the 70s? I think?
Maybe that's coming back.
Maybe so. Because they did have short basketball shorts.
I remember Larry Bird.
Yeah.
You see
Oh, yeah,
those
he
old
had-
films of him, they were short.
Guess they didn't want to get in the way. When we played, they were
Long.
at least at the knee,
Yeah.
minimum. Mm-hmm. But so britches is the first one. What's our next saying that we talked? Our next country cursive word.
Number 2 is fixin'.
Fixing to.
But yeah, you can add the preposition to it, fixin' to. But you think of fixing, you may be going, well, that means you're going to repair something. That is not
the correct usage.
Not how we use fixing. What does it mean?
Brooklyn, tell us what fixing means.
Well, Mom always has to tell me to clean my room. So I'm always like, I'm fixing to do it.
I'm fixing to clean my room.
Yeah. I'm about to. Right.
Yeah.
And that word gets people. If you've never been somewhere where that word is used, it gets folks, and they kind of turn the curious dog look, like the cockeyed look, like, what did you just say? What are you fixing? I'm not fixing anything. I'm fixing to
do something.
I'm getting ready.
I'm getting ready to do it. And that one is a good one. Fixing to. But you also got fixins, which is a variation of that, but really not anywhere close to.
So what are fixins?
Fixins are
It's your meal.
stuff to do with your meal. You're if you got cornbread, then you got some coleslaw or butter. Like those are your fixins that go with whatever you're eating.
Like if you said, I think common down here, one thing that we'll say, you will lead with the protein. You say, hey, we're going to have some steaks. You want to come over? What all fixins are you going to have?
Fixins
We
you
understand that you're going to have the steak, but what are the fixins?
Steak is the
Have some
prime.
baked potato, French fries, onion rings,
salad.
Yeah,
That's a terrible fixin', by the way.
unless it's got Top Hat Ranch on it.
Yeah.
Top Hat
You
Ranch.
can't go wrong with
Boy.
Top Hat
Best
Ranch.
ranch.
That's what we went out down there and ate the other day, and I told Scott, I said, I think they'd sell this thing global. If they could bottle the ranch that they have, it would be global.
Sure.
Our church, every time we have food or like chicken or something, we're always like, is that Top Hat Ranch?
That's
Yeah,
right.
Every
make sure it's
time.
Top Hat Ranch.
Yep.
My son, I've got a picture of him when he was like 2, and he figured out what Top Hat Ranch was, and he's literally taking a cracker, dipping it in there, sucking the ranch off,
And then
and dipping back in there. So he got to keep that ranch. Obviously, that was
That's right.
his ranch. But then afterwards, he's just staring like in a coma, and I said, he's in a ranch coma.
hey, it changed my life the first time I ever had it.
Absolutely.
It's good.
It's good. Like really good.
While we're here, before we go to the next word, Scott and I were talking. So when you go to Top Hat Barbecue, what's the first thing they bring you?
Bread.
Bread.
A basket of white loaf bread
And some sauce.
and the barbecue sauce. And that's what I was telling Scott. I said, this is redneck chips and salsa right here.
Yep.
So you just take that loaf bread, pop that top of that. Oh, they got good
Nice
barbecue
hot,
sauce
nice
too.
hot
But
sauce.
just dip it down in there.
I ain't had supper. I'm hungry.
Me and you both.
had to go
I
to
don't like
Top
that
Hat.
bread though.
You don't.
What?
I-
Brooklyn.
Okay, but they also bring, don't come at me, they bring a thing of crackers too.
They do bring.
And you can ask for that ranch. So that's
Hey,
what I
those
do.
crackers are good barbecue sauce.
Do you ever mix the barbecue sauce with the ranch? Oh, try it.
Next time
Try
you go,
it.
Next time.
put it in the chat. It's good.
It's fine.
All right, third word. One of my favorites. Reckon. RECKON. Well, Shane, are you gonna go get you something to eat after this?
I reckon I will.
I reckon I will.
so.
I reckon so.
And so, what's the definition there of reckon?
Suppose.
That's a good word.
So
What?
if you can't reckon, or if you were reckoning, you were supposing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I reckon so. You ever heard somebody say, wrecked them? Darn near killed them.
That's a Joel. That was a Joel favorite, man. He said that all the time.
That reminds me of when everybody goes, got him,
Got him.
Got him.
Love that one.
got him.
That video killed me. that little short that got him is so good. Well, those are 3 words, Country Cursive, for you. We hope that maybe we either educated you or provided a little bit of joy.
And if you continue to watch, you go back and watch some of our previous videos. Maybe we use those words at some point in time, or those phrases. That maybe help you out to understand exactly what's going on during the podcast.
That's right.
Yeah, share those with us. If you've heard us say something that you didn't understand, you're looking for a definition, maybe put it in there. We'll try to define whatever word that we use that you didn't know, or maybe you've got your favorite country word. Share it.
And I'm sure there are different ones throughout the region. Even just in the South, there's, obviously we're in the lower half of the Appalachians, so we've got probably different words than maybe somebody from even further south down around Mobile, they get a little Cajun influence, and but still a lot of them overlap. So I'd like to hear some suggestions, some other words from different regions.
And we're not pretending that we're the only part of the country has their own specific
dialect.
words. When we went to Indiana, they said things that were we were like, what are you saying? What does that mean? What does that word mean? And that went both ways when we were up there, of course. Well, Brooklyn, we have talked a lot about hunting recently. We've had some real good guys on here, and we've told some tales. But I heard that you have finally joined the Buck Club.
I did.
Got blooded up.
Killed my first buck. Yep, an 8-point.
Congratulations.
Well, I haven't. I've seen the picture. I've not heard the story. So why don't you share the story with us?
All right. Well, I got asked to go hunting with Mr. and Mrs. Cheryl. And I always wanted to kill a deer. Thought it was fun. I've been with my dad before, and he always, pulled the trigger. So I was like, okay, I got to do it myself now.
It's a little young.
Yeah, well, I'm not young no more, or not that young. So we went, and she called me, and she was like, do you want to go? I was like, yeah. So we went, and of course, Summerlin, my sister, she was like, I want to go. So I was like, okay. So a little competition going on. So we went, and there was a few doe in the field.
It's an evening hunt?
Sir?
Evening hunt?
Yes, sir. So we got in there around like 2:30, and shot it at 4:30 around there, 4:30 around there. And I just shot a gun 2 weeks before. So I was like, okay, so I'm kind of scared. And she was like, whenever it came out, she was like, oh, there's one. Like, it kind of got scary. Like, everybody got quiet. Like, oh no, there's one. It kind of got real quiet. So she was like, we got him, and then he ran off and came back, and she was like, all right, so you have to push it against your shoulder, so it don't pop you. And so he got against my shoulder and everything, and she was like, just take a deep breath whenever you're ready. And, whenever they're facing you, you got to wait till they turn so you can get right in the lung, which is actually right where I shot it. So you get in there, and I took a deep breath, pulled the trigger, and then he started running. And the field that we were at, it's like an 8-shaped. So you can go across, and it's like you can turn, and there'll be like woods, and so we couldn't really see where he ran to. You just could see that he ran like two trees. And so we were like, oh no, I got nervous. At first I was like, well, actually, speaking of got him, I was like, pulled that trigger, and I laid it down. I was like, got him.
Confident.
Boom. And then she was like, I think you got him. And I was like, okay. So then I thought, in my head, I was like, oh, there's run a little bit, fall over, we're going to see him. And then he wasn't inside. I was like, oh, Lord, did I actually? And so we texted Mr. Cheryl, because I was with Miss Wanda. And we were like, what do we do? Do we wait? So we waited in there for 5-10 minutes, and then we got out. We were like, let's go look for blood. So we went, we looked for some blood, and I was the first one to find some. So we found some, and we got kind of confused, though, because, it was going 2 different ways. So we were like, okay, he's definitely bleeding out 2 ways.
That's good.
So I was like, okay, then he's got to be down. So I was, following one trail, and she was following the other, and she just screamed out, and she was like, there he is. He didn't even make 30 feet.
Didn't go 20.
He didn't go 30 feet. Nope, he was right at the wood in the field mark, right there. Above the field.
Barely made it out of the field.
Didn't even make it out. He was still in the field. Just barely there.
Well, here's the part I got to know. So you're sitting there at the green field, you're watching some does, a buck comes out, and you realize that you're going to get to shoot. Did your heart rate go up? Did you get nervous?
Oh, my heart was going out of my chest.
Just talk to me about that.
My heart was going out of my chest. I was like, oh, my God. I couldn't breathe. I was like, okay, Tom. Because you can't move.
What do you call it? You know what they call that, Brooklyn?
Excitement.
Well, that's what they call it. But what do they call it in hunting terms?
Oh, I don't
Education
know.
Here.
It's buck fever.
Buck fever.
Buck fever.
And as long as you get the buck fever, then you'll be wanting to go hunting until it stops.
That's what Miss Wanda said. She was like, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And I love it.
And
it's fun. I love it. Yep.
So 8-point buck.
Yes, sir.
That's not bad for a first start.
No. It's going to be hard to overcome that one.
It took me a long time to get to the 8-point
club. To the 8-point
Can only go up.
She's definitely got buck fever.
Oh, I
We've
did.
been in the woods
ever since.
Ever since.
We actually went before we came here. Saw 8 doe.
saw 8, but they were all eyes on you. weren't
All
they?
eyes
Oh
on
my
us.
gosh.
We kind of did a little.
We were like, don't move. Like,
We changed our tactics. We went to where they normally come in, and they came in, but they had us held down. We couldn't do nothing.
Pinned down.
I mean, they
Had us
were
pinned
all
down.
around us. We were like, oh my gosh.
That's a
Like, we
fun
couldn't-
feeling, though. I really enjoy getting, like, when you can get so close to nature or so kind of clued into nature that they just surround you. Man, it's a cool feeling just to
And
say.
it gives you
"Man, I
that
don't even know I'm
same buck fever.
here." Yeah.
That heart
Yeah.
still just kicking. She's sitting there. We're sitting there. I said, "Don't move an inch," because they're sitting there watching us.
Yeah. There's some primal instinct there
Yeah.
that comes back. Obviously our ancestors had to do this to survive, and there's something about just saying, "Oh man."
And to think back then, they were probably had to get as close as we are now, or were tonight.
And no doubt they got just as excited because that meant I'm fixing to have something to eat.
That's right.
So, it's really a cool feeling to be able to feel that. So you got to experience it from killing a big buck, and then now your next feeling is getting to see those 8 doe that close.
I
And
know. It was cool. It was like really cool. And we also saw when I killed the buck, there was also like, well, not when the buck came in the field, but before that, later on, there was babies, and they're so cute. They were cute to see. And there was also a baby tonight. We saw a red the doe. They were really cute.
that's cool.
Well, we look forward to hearing how the rest of the season goes. If you're starting to hunt at this frequency, we haven't even got to the rut good.
That's
so
right. It's
you wait
supposed to
till.
be coming in.
I think
Ready.
it's starting to heat up, though.
Well, speaking of interesting hunts, Scott, I know you've been taking the kids a little bit, but I heard that you had a hunt at your house the other night.
We did. We had a good little hunt. Kind of started off on a Saturday morning. Early Saturday morning, we, my lovely wife, our dogs are more precious than me or the kids. So
That's
they
a
have
fact.
their own place. They sleep every night.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little Vice and a little, what is she, Aussie Doodle.
Yeah.
Aussie Doodle. So they sleep in their particular areas. So in the morning, she lets them out every morning. So one Saturday morning, she let them out, and we all got up, and all of a sudden we heard our little feist out there. She was treed under the deck,
Locked in.
locked in under the deck. So she was locked in. So Lori, she said, "Hey, I think there's a snake under the deck." So
Because
I
she's
go out-
killed snakes before.
Yeah, we've killed
And
them out
it's-
there.
it-
Got
yeah.
a pole,
It's a
how
possibility.
they're going to get around there.
Warm day in December.
Warm day in December. So I go out, and we were looking. First, I didn't go out. First, I thought, well, this is to pass by, So about an hour or so later, I go outside, and
And she's still.
she's
Bam,
hammering
bam,
down.
bam,
But,
bam. Okay.
Lori's getting her because she's getting dirty on the deck.
Mm.
She got to have a clean dog. So
No dirty dog in the
well, no
house.
dirty dog in the house. So my youngest daughter, Summerlin, me and her go out there, and we get up on the deck, and we're looking. I got a light. We're looking up under that deck, and I don't see nothing. Nothing to be seen. But dog Bella, she's up under there, and she's just on her
Clawing.
side. She's treeing, boy. So this goes. We take her inside. This goes on out throughout the day. Put her out. She goes back to that spot. So I told Laura, I said, "Hey, whatever it is,
It's
when night
living
falls-
there.
when night falls, it's coming out." So about dusty dark, I told her, I said, "Turn that dog loose and let's see what happens." So
Let's just see what
next thing we
happens.
know,
Turn 'em loose.
She goes around there, and I'm sitting on the couch, and I hear her. She's on there. She's treed. She's treeing again on there.
Treed on the
She's
deck.
treed on the deck. So she, about that time, I heard her cut loose. She's going across the backyard.
Oh, we're moving now.
We're moving now. She's on the track moving. So she's moving across the yard. I said, "Hey," I jump up. And I said, "Hey, she's whatever it is out.
It's on the loose.
It's on the loose." So at this point, I go outside, and we got a fenced-in backyard. So I got a bunch of pine straw with shrubs and everything back there. So she's over in them shrubs just digging. I'm thinking, man, whatever it is, got to be small. So I go back there and look, and I never see a thing. So I told Laura, I said, "I don't see anything." So I go back in, and I heard her then cut out through the yard again. So I said, "Hey, whatever it is, now's my opportunity." By that time, I get up, and she's got this thing sitting there.
She's got it
And at
hemmed
this
up.
time,
Here's
it's
one
hemmed
for
up.
you. It's hemmed up.
Hemmed up. This time it's hemmed up, and it's trying to fight like a coon or a possum. It's giving its all. And I look at it, I'm thinking, what is that? I've never seen any of these things in Alabama before. My first instance was a groundhog. Is that a groundhog? No. And then, long story short, it jumps down by the pool there, and there's some bushes there. Well, it gets into the bushes. So I told Lori, so I'm going to go get my shotgun.
Here we go.
So whatever it is, we finna hammer it.
Now we're fixing to get
we're
down
gonna
to
ground.
action.
That's called ground checking.
That's ground checking it. So I go down and get it, run back up, and I tell her,
What is Lori? Didn't you get Lori after it?
well, we're getting to that.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. So I hand her the broom.
Oh.
I said, look, I can't shoot and broom at the same time because there's a lot of things around this back. We got pool. I got a pool. I don't want to tear up.
I can do a lot of things, but brooming and shooting ain't one of them.
I don't want to tear up our retaining wall with a shotgun. So I said, broom that thing out. As soon as we broom it out, so she's over there, she's brooming it out. About that
Is
time,
she getting after it?
Oh, she's getting after it, hitting those bushes.
Annie Mae.
She said, "Don't shoot me." I said, "I ain't gonna shoot
Don't
you."
shoot.
You just keep
There
brooming.
was an opportunity there, but I said, "No, we're not gonna do that." so she brooms that. At that time, that thing takes off running, and I knew I couldn't let it get back under the deck.
Yeah, don't let it back under the deck.
So I'm running down by the pool at this point, thinking,
Don't leave out the funny part now.
What's that? What am I missing?
We have a cover on our pool, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And he's running across the pool cover while it's
Well, I couldn't let it
You
get
are
under the deck.
across the
my
pool
goodness.
cover.
I
Oh, have
I
mercy.
couldn't let it get back under the
You
deck.
pulled a Jesus. You
Walking
pulled
on
a
water.
At
Jesus.
that point
Walking
in
on
time-
water.
At that point in time, you got to do what you're
Yeah,
going to do.
you had the faith to make it across the pool,
we had
baby.
faith, So I'm running across there. And I said,
Splish-a-dee-splish-a-dee-flies.
"Don't let it get back in." We're
Oh, I
mouthing
wish I
each other at this
Yeah,
point in time.
yeah.
She's hollering, I'm hollering, and she's hollering, "Don't kill it, don't kill it." And I said, "I can't let it get back on the deck." So I go out there and hammer it a couple times.
Fold him up,
I
baby.
loaded it up. When I folded it up, looked over, I said,
What
"That's a
is-
Louisiana rat."
What is this?
You sitting here telling us you had a nutria
That's the only thing that could
in
have been.
Hayden, Alabama.
In Hayden, Alabama,
I can tell you
nutria
this
is on
right
the
now.
loose.
I went and got the shovel, and that thing was so big on the filled up the shovel.
A flathead.
I turned around and told Lori, I said, "I can't just throw this thing in the woods. It's gonna stink."
It's gonna stink.
I had to go back there and bury it like a dog.
I had to
The
bury
only
it.
thing I liked, I didn't get a picture of it.
I wish you had a picture
I know
of it
it.
because you a man of truth and I believe that. But tell me if
I'm
there's a
telling
nutria.
you straight up, that's as truth as it's going to be. And where that thing come from, I have no idea.
Well, it came from New Orleans.
Either somebody around here in Hayden's letting them go, or something's going on.
We done had the Battle of Hayden right here.
Well, we got the Black Panther,
Yep.
Black Bears, and now nutria.
Nutria. I'm telling you,
Things is changing.
This place is an ecological
it was a
disaster
monster.
right now.
Biggest one I've ever seen.
That climate change
And
may
I-
be
you
driving
know,
them up here.
You got a farm.
That's right.
When you bush out there bush hogging, you bush hogged. And we've hit a lot of rats in our time.
This
But if
this was more than a rat.
This
though.
thing looked like a possum.
on
it-
steroids.
Oh, it
You was telling me the other day that it had it had teeth.
It did have
It had
teeth.
tooths.
It had
And it
teeth.
was-
That thing's claws was inch long.
Woo.
He said it looked like Nanny McVie.
But I know it. There's no way it could have been living there though, because my dog is out there all the time.
Well,
So it's not.
Migrating.
trying to find some place for him to go. I heard Brooklyn State the other day. She thought it come out of Summerlin's room.
That's a possibility. I mean, we're not gonna cut that down. Lindley vouch for
It's
that.
just living in there.
Summerlin sometimes, but listen about Lindley over. She's gonna help me clean my room tonight.
Yeah, she's gonna help me
She's
clean
a cleaner.
the room.
She's the cleaner.
That's funny.
Well, that ain't the only thing that's been killed up under a porch or a house.
No, we got to talking about that, and I said, well, that just reminds me about the time at the house. The similar story. Sarah calls me, Shane. There's something underneath the house. Like, you got to come home. So, baby, hey, I'm 2.5 hours from that. Like, can you not? Like, let's just wait. Oh, I don't know if it's under the house. I'm hearing racket. It's growling and all kind. I said, oh goodness gracious. So
Growling.
oh hey, again the mind.
That's the report.
That was the report I was getting. I said it's growling. So I said, well, I'll get it. Like, I'm coming home in the morning. I'll tend to it then. Just keep the door shut. Don't go underneath the house for any odd reason, and we'll be fine. So I get home, and immediately know what is underneath my house because I smell it.
You can't mistake
Where
it.
you headed with this one?
Unmistakable smell. Okay, permeating out of the little crawl space area. I said, "There's a skunk. Doggone skunk has done crawled underneath my house." So I was really confused as to where it could have gotten under it, though, because our entire house perimeter is rocked. Like it is rocked. So
So at
decided,
this time, it hadn't really sprayed.
it had
much.
not. It was just hey, I'm just living my life. Well, I start agitating it, trying to like find it. I'm getting underneath there.
Did you have the broom?
I don't know that I used a broom, but I did probably use some stick of some sort, like trying to like shine flashlights in there, rake stuff. Like I didn't want to get sprayed in the face, but so I look under the house, couldn't find it. I finally find a hole underneath the deck where they had dug out from underneath the rock, and it had literally bored a tunnel. So I said, well, I'll set my live trap right there. It's the only thing I can do the only way I will know that I got the skunk out of the house. So I set a live trap. I put they love cinnamon flavored honey or apple butter and bread. If you ever have to trap a skunk,
There you go.
apple butter and bread in the trap, put it in there. Next day, I got the skunk. Okay. Well, I'm
Now
thinking,
you and the job's not over.
I'm thinking it is. I'm thinking I have done my job. I have rid the skunk of, or the house of the skunk area. Well, I get it out, and I take it down in the field. And
With what? How did you get it out? With your hands?
no, so I've got this 10-foot.
There we go.
I've got this 10-foot Alabama Power switch pole.
Is that far enough though?
It's far enough when the cage is turned towards you when the flap is down. Those live traps, the flap goes down. So flap's facing you, you can pull the 10-foot away and it can't spray you. So I get it down to the field and I take care of it. Well, I'm thinking I have rid the problem. Like this is solved. No issues. Well, that was in the middle of summertime or middle springtime, and we plant a garden. So I had dished up some garden and I was planting some seeds. Well, I pulled the tractor up to wash the fertilizer out of the tractor. When I pull up to there was a water bowl at the where the hose pipe is. And I look and I thought, what is at the water bowl? 6 miniature.
They done mess around and have some kids.
No.
6 miniatures were watering at the water hole. And I said, you got to be kidding me. Well, I look and I get there close and they see me. Well, then they scurry underneath the porch.
And they headed right back under
back under the house. And I said, you got to be kidding me. However, I had enough forethought to think they're thirsty because it is hot. They're going to come back out to this water. So I slip in the house real quick, and the only thing I could think of is to get, Nanny used to keep the butter bowls. I got Crockett butter bowls.
Oh, the plastic.
The little plastic ones, Cool Whip bowls.
Yeah.
You can put your leftovers in there.
Oh yeah, feed your animals out of them.
I got a stack of them that Nanny had left for me. That was my inheritance. So
Something useful.
that's something useful. Well, I go back on the porch and I just stand still. One at a time, they come out from under the porch.
Here they come.
And I just stick a bowl over one. And I just sit there and wait. Here comes another one. Stick another bowl over that one.
You're kidding.
I ain't kidding. 6 bowls in the middle of the yard, and they're just scooting around like turtle shells.
Oh, man.
So where does this go from here, though?
Yeah, but where does this go from here? Now we got a real problem. I've got 6 miniature skunks.
How big are they?
They little bitty things.
Oh,
I mean,
tiny.
fit it again.
Can they spray at that age, you think?
Apparently, the answer is no. So they want to spray, but they can't spray. So I called this lady that we actually babysat her kids at that time. My wife did. And I said, hey, I've got 6 baby skunks. I know what I want to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
However, what would you do with them? Because she was like a vet tech. She's like, do not dispatch those things. I want them. I know where they can go. They'll be fine. She took them like Oak Mountain or something. But I said, that's fine. She said, where are they at? I said, well, currently they're in my yard under Cool Whip bowls. She said, they're under what? Mm-hmm. I said, well, they're under Cool Whip bowls.
You find the Cool Whip bowls, you find the skunks.
You come get them. So she brought a cage. I got a welding glove, and I just reached under that Cool Whip bowl with the welding glove, and I stick it in the cage. Cool, and went around, got all 6 of them.
How about that?
Fortunately, did not get sprayed, rid my house of the skunks, and on about our business.
Local hero. So this is the Scott that we talk about with Precision Graphics all the time. Obviously a great storyteller as well. But you've got something that and a nutria exterminator. Yeah. You have a special message that you want people to have, customers, for the upcoming weeks. Tell us about that.
Yes, sir. We're going to, the 50% off sale, we're going to extend it to the end of January. So
that's a big deal.
It's a big deal. So we're going to extend that to the end of January.
See this right here?
That's one.
Sporting it.
And still, if you say the word podcast, extra 10%. So
that's a good deal.
It's a real good deal.
And that's up here on Chestnut
Drive.
Downtown Hayden,
8 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Don't miss out on that. And we're glad you joined in here with us. Brooklyn, great story. Congratulations on the kill.
Thank you.
And also, that story's just going to get better and better.
Hey, that buck's going to get
bigger and bigger.
You know, I got buck fever on that rat.
Did you really?
Anytime you nutria fever. You got nutria fever. Every time you make that kill, you got heart rate gets up, especially running across that puka.
You go down to New Orleans, you kill all of them you want to kill.
What are you charging for one of those nutria guided hunts over there?
Well, let's see if any more come back.
Well, that's it for the Hayden Outbound podcast. Appreciate y'all being on. Appreciate having us.
Thanks for having us.
You always will.
Thanks.
One of my faves. Well, all right, we're going to sign off here. I'm Philip.
I'm Shane.
I'm Brooklyn.
I'm Scott.
We'll see you next time.